Oh, yeah. Let's get it.
Hello and welcome to Queued Pixel.
Oh, yeah.
I'm continuing my software development stream today. And welcome everyone back. I see there's a few people who've been talking in chat. Let me just address a couple of those here. I see a message from Frosd. Hey Pixel, it's been a while anyway, sorry to say this, but the jagged edges on everything look horrible. Hit me up if you want to approve. The text and the jumping squares. Okay, I will have to take a look at the recording of the stream and see what's going on. It's possible that that my bitrate is too low for that, so I'll just have to take a look and see what that looks like. So thank you for the heads up. I'll make a note of that. Yeah, one of the issues is I have to set my bitrate pretty low because otherwise some of my viewers aren't able to see my stream. For the most part, I'm just broadcasting text and it doesn't really matter. But when I do any sort of animation like my intro, that may not come over very well. So I will take a look at that and see what I can see there. It's not the bitrate. Okay. Then it's possibly my resolution conversion. I'm in a 4K resolution and I downsample to 1080p, so it's possible that my resolution conversion isn't so great. That might be the other thing to look at. Are you even seeing it right now? Are you seeing the issues right now with the text, or does it look okay right now? Only during the intro. Okay, well, I'll take a look at the recording of this and see what that looks like. And I'll do some tests over the next few days to see if I can figure out what is going on there. So thank you for the heads up. Do appreciate that, and I will try to get that resolved before my next stream. Speaking of my next stream, I do have a schedule of streams coming up here. Today, right now, I'm going to continue to work on open source software development. I'm planning to continue work on the Twitch Craps Table chatbot. I made a little bit of progress on this last time, and we'll continue that for a few hours today. Upcoming streams, I'm streaming again on Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. This is a additional stream, in addition to my normal Sunday streams. And I'm also going to be streaming again next Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, February 3rd at 9 a.m. I will wrap up before the Super Bowl, so no worries about me trying to compete with the Super Bowl on Sunday. So that is my schedule. Let's go look at what we're working on here. My current project is the Twitch Craps Table chatbot. Last week we did some very, very basic setup work on this. I did my initial version of adding in all of the kind of basic template files, added hello world, connect to the Twitch channel, and respond to the hello command. And let's see, I ran into some issues with NPM over the week, or during the stream last week, so I actually updated my version of Node, and I did check to see if this all works. So let's run it again to be sure. So let's go run the chat bot. It connects to my channel here and responds to the hello command. And I'm actually going to test this myself. Say hello. And there's the response. I've also set up stream elements to test this as well. Excellent. So it also responds to the hello command from other viewers, which is one of the things I want to deal with today. Frosty says, so that needs a little bit of a touch-up tip. If you can fake anti-aliasing by adding a really small amount of feathering on the edges. Yeah, I will take that note into this here. And that's from Froz. You're saying 1 to 5 pixels. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. I have not looked up the OBS settings for kind of anti-aliasing. So I will look into that as well. See if I can make that look a little bit better. I do appreciate the feedback. It is tough for me to see exactly what's going on at all times. I have tried to watch some of the streams and it's always tough to know exactly what's going on, so I do appreciate the feedback, and I will go look into that over the next few days. But yeah, so this is where we're at. So the bot logs whatever is said in channel, so we can see that we have Frosty's messages, we have the queued test messages. That's queued test is the account that my bot is using for the moment. The log stream elements and respond to the stream elements. So all that seems to be working just fine. And that's kind of where we're at. Up next, I have a bunch of tasks to look at for the bot going forward here, and I want to add to these things a little bit more here. First is stay under the message limit. Twitch has a pretty strict message limit for bots. And if you exceed that, they get banned for a period of time. We'll have to look up what those limits are again. Oh, looks like I looked it up. We send one message every 2 seconds. Should stay under the limit. So that'll be the thing to do, is to add in a message limiter, so we send only one message every 2 seconds. And we'll use a message queue to queue up messages to be sent. Then we're going to start working on the basic craps logic. Here we're going to just do the basic logic of how do we go from the come out roll to establish a point and all the way till we 7 out. So this will kind of go through the entire basic craps table logic, and once we have that we can begin to build on other stuff, like we can store a balance for each player. Each player is going to be betting a certain amount of fake money. It's not going to be real money, but all fake money, so we'll store the balance of fake money for each player. Allow players to place a simple bet, a pass line bet, I think is what I want to start with. It's kind of regarded as the most basic bet in craps. Maintain a minimum balance for each player. So this way players below the minimum balance are set to the minimum after a 7 out. So this way players will always have a small amount of money to play with. see Frosty says you have to do it for the individual things in the video, unless it's like a program that's doing that. In such a case, you can add a 1 to 5 pixel blur on the whole thing. That should remove the jaggedness. The video is, see if I can bring that up here. I'm not sure if I have that available easily. Yeah, I'm going to have to dig through something for 1 second here. I'll go see if I can find the video and we can look at that real quickly here. Just put on the my animation while I go look for it. I have to look up look at my OBS settings. We're using that version. All right. Sorry about that. So this is the animation we're using here. This animation 1-3.move. So it's a quick time. And it's already in 1920 by 1080. So OBS is blowing that up to 4K, and then we're dropping that down to 1080 again. So some of that conversion might not be so great. And this is what it looks like here. So that not so large. So yeah, I'll just have to poke at these things and see if I can improve this. I'll have to work with the artist, see if the artist can improve some of the jaggedness on this, and we'll try to get this better. So thank you for the heads up, and I will be sure to look at that. I'd say continuing on with the craps table, some other things we're going to talk about. Save player balances. So this way, if I quit the bot and restart the bot, player balances will be saved and restored. One of the ideas I wanted to play with is to allow players to serve as the bank. So that way players will actually be earning money from each other rather than some infinite source of money. And we'll see if that makes any sense or not, I'm not sure. Then I think at the end we'll add in all the remaining craps bets. Once we have all the basic logic in place, we can go to the don't pass bet, the come, don't come bets, the odds bets, the place bets, the failed bets. The hard ways, proposition, fire. Some of these are kind of more kind of out there bets. The prop bets are one roll bets. The fire bet is kind of a unique bet. Bottom, top, all points are similar to the fire. Hot bets, big 6-8. So these are all kind of more less popular bets. Frosty says, if you want, you can send it to me and I will enhance it for you. You can use anything, preferably files.fm, and I should be able to have it done before you end up stream. I'm not sure how to send that to easily without, let's go look at files.fm. Upload and share files. Well, we can see what this does here. Put this under a food. Because you don't even have a register to send files. Yeah, I'm uploading that now on a secondary web browser over here. While that's going on, I'm going to continue on with the discussion of the craps table bot here. So some other minor things I want to get to is I've actually uploaded the CLA file that the contributor license agreement, so fix contributor notes. The other thing I want to do is start on the README. Since we now have a working bot that people can start to use, it doesn't do much, but it does respond to the hello command. And so I think having a README file that explains how to get it set up will help people who want to use it. Alright, looks like this link is created here. So I'll go ahead and send that to Frosty. And that should be sent to you. Okay, so this is kind of where we're going to go next here. I want to start with fixing the contributor notes. This is actually on 2 projects. I have the Twitch chatbot is one, and the interpreter I was working on a couple weeks ago also needs to have that updated. We can look at that by going to our GitHub. Let's have our contributing documentation. This says the CLA for this project has not been created. Well, that's no longer true. If we go here, that CLA does exist. There it is there. And so I just want to get rid of that message that no longer really applies. And this is under Twitch Craps Bot. Let's go to contributing and drop this message. I think we can close the bot. It's been running just fine. Log in everything. So CLA now exists. Let's go ahead and push that. And there it is. Let's go take a look. Perfect. So the other one I wanted to fix was Noble Sermons. Let's go look up Noble Sermon. It's going to have the exact same issue. And we'll just do the same exact thing. Go to Noble Sermon, go update contributing.md. So there's some very minor cleanup before we get started on the real work today. Let's go verify that that shows up as well. Excellent. Alright, so we have fixed the contributor notes. Next up is to start on the README. Let's just go look up the README here. Like, here we are. Yeah, so we've got the basic description and the contributing notes, but we don't have any notes as to how to run it. So let's start adding those in. Meantime, let's close all these other things I'm not working on. Let's see, I want to kind of base these off of other projects I've worked on. Let's see if I can remind myself of what those might look like. The Stream Countdown overlay might have notes on how we run it here. Nope. I should probably add those to this as well for those who want to experiment with this. This project is how I do the countdown. So I actually I've got the animation I just sent to Frosty, and then I have this little app here that runs the countdown in the background. So if you want to see how this works, just use Electron for this. And it runs just a little countdown. Nice and basic, and I've got other things here set up for, what else do we got here? Yeah, I've got for if I'm taking a break, we'll return at a certain time, and then I've got a little thanks for watching at the very end. So that's what this project is. The Stream Countdown overlay is just a little overlay on top of the animation that I showed you earlier to just do a couple of things there. So if you guys want to play with that, that is also available. I'm looking for how to set up the README. I think Stimulus Package is probably the most elaborate here. Yeah, I don't see anything that's really obvious. Well, let's just start with this here. Let's say usage. We use Node.js. Because what, Node.js.org? There we are.
Are you happy now?
Let's see, so we give it the name of the link, so we'll say node.js, and then the URL. I need to have like a setup section here because we need to actually set up the configuration first. I don't really have any good examples of that here. Let's just try it here. And I have some paper notes I'll base this off of. So we need to create a file in your home directory called Twitch auth. With the following contents, and I think we can do that. And we said username is equal to Twitch username. Auth is equal to Twitch auth token. Replace the Twitch username of your chatbot, or for your chatbot, and then replace, got a whisper, let's take a look at this here. Frosty says done. Excellent. I will take a look at that here. Cool. I am downloading that now. Thank you for that. And I'll give that a try and see how that looks once I wrap up with the stream today. So thank you again, and we'll see if that makes things look a little bit better. Alright, so we replace Twitch username. Next up is to replace Twitch auth token. With an auth token obtained from, and I have a URL to go with. Let's just bring it up here and say twitchapps.com/TMI. So here, connect with Twitch. You allow it to, you authorize it to use your account, and it'll give you an auth token that you can use to connect to the chat server via this chat interface I'm using. See, Frosty says, now if there's any jaggedness, it's probably because of the weird upscaling and then downscaling, in which case I can't do much other than render it into 4K with the enhancements. I'll take a look. I'll just look at a few things and see what we can do, and what I could potentially do is go back to my artist who helped me with that and have them render it in 4K. But we'll see. We'll take a look and see what things look like. I'll say go to that URL to get it. So replace Twitch auth token with an auth token obtained from. Frosty says, I met through the stream. It doesn't have any jagginess now. Yeah, I will watch it through the stream. I have Qt Test as my test account, so I'll do a test stream through Qt Test and take a look and see if I see any jaggedness through that, and I'll just play with it a little bit and see if I can get it to work a little better. So I do appreciate that, and I'll spend some time on that between now and my next stream on Thursday. Alright, so create a file in your home directory called switch off with the following contents. Username equals blah, auth equals blah, replace Twitch username with the Twitch username, replace Twitch auth token with an auth token that came from. So it seems pretty good. Usage. Oh, there's also more setup here. Frosty says, if I do run into more issues, hit you up again, I will just render a 4K version of it. That should fix it in that case. Okay, sure, I will do that. So let's add some notes here. Investigate updated movie file from FOSD. Ask for 4K rendered version if problems still exist. Yeah, I'll take a look. So thank you very much. All right, for the setup stuff, we've got the Twitch auth file. Let's do, say, authentication. section there. And now let's do a configuration. Or I'll go with configuration. And for the configuration, we have a channel file. We have a channel template. Make a copy of channel template. I got a copy of that name here. Name it to Splat. Frosty says, no worries, it just takes a couple of minutes to fix. Also, it's a great way for me to keep my editing creation skills in shape. Excellent. Yeah, always good to keep your skills up to date and sharp, nice and sharp. So we'll rename it to that file, and then see, make a copy of channel template, rename it to channel, and enter the name of the channel, to which you wish you want to connect. So I don't end this with a preposition. And finally, to run. How did I do my run notes here? Let's see, well, we could say do a node section here. This map is designed to run under node. Actually let's call it Node.js. Make sure that Node.js is installed. Then we have dependencies. Install dependencies for the bot. Install dependencies using npm. That's what I did before. See, Frosty has another comment here. Also, I highly suggest you take a look at OBS Project streaming audio, especially the ducking, side chaining side, so you have the music lower automatically when you talk, to enhance the stream quality as well. Though as the music's still a little too loud, I've tried to reduce the music volume so that it is, so they're able to hear me okay. But as it's still a little too loud, I can go ahead and reduce that right now so it becomes a little bit better. And yeah, I can certainly look at how to automatically lower it using that link. Why is this doing word wrapping? Let's turn off word wrapping. Yeah, thank you for that as well. I will take a look and see if I can get that to be improved. Alright, install dependencies using npm. In this case, it's just npm install. See, Frosty says it is slightly high, but yeah, the next time you can keep it at the volume you have now. And the next time going through that process, you won't even have to worry or bother to change it again. Cool, let me just take 1 second to reduce this down a little bit here. Let's try, I'm at negative 10 dB right now. Let's go to negative 12. Alright, that's at negative 12. Let me know if that is a little bit better, and next time I can look at how to automatically do that when I'm talking so I don't have to keep it so quiet. And then to run. Why is my editor so painful sometimes? In this case, oh, let's see, let's fix this. We'll say run the bot using Node.js. This is Node, and then the file to run is what? It's around here somewhere. Twitchcrapsbot.js. Just kind of very basic documentation for how to set up the bot and how to run it. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm going to slowly add in more stuff. Well, there's a couple reasons. First, the bot is technically usable as is. You can download it, you can run it, it'll connect to your channel and respond to people who issue the hello command. It's very basic, but does give you a template. You can write your own bot if you do want to do that. But this just gives you the information you need to know how to get it set up. So first we've got the setup phase. The authentication, create a file in your home directory called twitchauth with the following contents, username and auth. And just to be clear, don't reveal your Twitch auth token to anyone. I've gone to some pains to not show that on stream, because if anyone gets that, they can log in as you, or not log in, but they can chat as you. So just be mindful that you don't want to leak your auth token anywhere. Now the contents of the file is basically your username and your auth token. And you could go to twitchapps.com/TMI to get an auth token usable for this bot. Then with configuration, we have a channel template. We named it to channel.js and enter the name of the channel to which you want to connect. This will be made a little more elaborate as I update the configuration. This is one of the reasons why I want to do this, is because I want to make the configuration more complex and have documentation of everything there, so people who will have that available. And usage is designed to render Node.js. Make sure Node.js is installed. See, Frosty says, I mean, I hear you clearly either way because of my various enhancements through my studio sound card and and your really expensive headphones. But I can hear that you're blending a lot now with the music, and for people with low quality audio, won't be able to distinguish you from the music. Yeah, good to know. And when I did the testing, I tested with a different genre of music. And it's possible that the genre I'm using now is either louder or different in such a way that it is harder to hear. You know, so the testing I did, lots of things can change, so it's tough to always tell. So, yeah, thank you for the heads up. I'll definitely look at that and try to make this even better. Let's see, trying to simplify this a little bit here. We could probably get rid of this and say, make sure that we could even just say, you know, install Node.js. We could go like this, install Node.js from Dependencies. Install dependencies using npm. I think this is a good starting point. We'll see. And I know how to run the bot, and I suspect most anyone watching will be able to follow this to run the bot. But if people have issues, they can always fire up an issue on GitHub, and I can revise the documentation. Or if you see anything, you can always type in chat, and let me know if anything is not clear if you do wish to use this yourself. And I will try to improve the documentation. For me, it's kind of an evolving process. So there's all the stuff we just did. We'll go ahead, commit, and push this to GitHub and verify that it actually looks good on GitHub. I'm trying to remember if I'm doing the markdown formatting properly or not. It's tough sometimes. And even if it's correct, does it look good is the other question. So we'll take a look. Add usage instructions to the README file. Let's go see what that looks like. That's right, set up authentication. Create a file in your home directory called touch, which offers the following contents. Let's see, I'm seeing a couple of minor cleanup things here we could do here. Nothing major, but just a couple things that are sticking out. Probably need to say Twitch username here. And just say username. Let's see, make a copy of and rename it to, well, we could just say make a copy of that called the file name. Let's see, it's not just install, but download and install. No, that's probably fine. Dependencies, npm install, run, node, blah, blah, blah. I think that all looks good. Frosty says another thing you could do is get an equalizer plugin for OBS and give it a high pass for your mic, removing the lower, deeper sound from you, and then increase the mid-high range of the sound. Yeah, that's getting another great idea. It's getting a little bit beyond my experience level, but might be an interesting thing for me to experiment with, so I will add that to the list as well. So thank you for that. More stuff to learn. I find there's so much to learn with streaming audio that it's can be a little challenging to get all that down. So I do appreciate the feedback and the tips, and give me something to look at. Yeah, so let's go do some minor cleanup here now that I've had a chance to read it in context. So yeah, let's get rid of the word Twitch before username, because I think username is clear by itself. Make a copy of channel template called channel.js, and out of the name of the channel to which you want to commit. Specify As for the name of the channel to which you want to connect. Keep wanting to say download Node.js from there and install it. There we go. Dependencies is all good there. Nothing has changed. Run the bot. Looks good. So yeah, it's just some minor cleanup there that I saw. Frosty says I can help you with that if you want by using TeamViewer or just show you an image that shows you how the equalizer should be set. Maybe something like that might be best coordinated via Discord or something if you wanted to meet up off stream. I wouldn't want to do that on stream, but possibly off stream. Or if you think the image would be enough to demonstrate that, you could start with the image, and if I have questions, I can always get back to you. I do have a Discord. I'm not sure if I have a Discord command here. Nope, I don't have a Discord command. I should add one. Let's go bring up my... I have it in my channel description, but I should add in a command as well. Let's see if that works out. Aha! There we go. I'll be honest, I haven't been very good at checking Discord, but I'll be sure to take a closer look if people are going to coordinate with me on that. It's just there's just so many dang social media elements between Twitch and Twitter and Facebook and Discord. It's tough for me to keep up on all of them, so I'm not terribly good at keeping up on them, but if you let me know if you're going to send me something in Discord, I will be sure to take a look there. I'd say I'm tempted to make a couple of other minor changes here. What did this call it? Was it an auth token or was it something else? See, they called it an OAuth token, so I should probably use that phrase. I think I can say Twitch username now. Yeah, we'll stick with just username. I'm probably overthinking this a little bit here, just I like having documentation be as correct as I can. But it doesn't have to be perfect, so I'll try not to dwell too long on it here. Just I do understand the importance of documentation. So let's take a look at that. Oh, it would help if I actually updated this stuff. just to be consistent, I don't want to update one section and not do both. That should work just fine. So username equals username, auth equals auth. Replace username with the username for your chatbot. Replace auth with an OAuth token obtained from that URL configuration. Make a copy of channel template called channel.js and specify the name of the channel to which you want to connect. I don't think we need this comma any longer. So it won't fit on one line, so we'll still make that 2 lines. Make a copy of channel template called channel and specify the name of the channel to which you want to connect. Then download Node.js from and install it. Minor updates to the README file. Let's take a look how this new version looks. Yeah, so create a file in your home directory called Twitch auth with the following contents. Username, auth, replace username with the username for your bot, replace auth with the OAuth token obtained from here. Let's verify this works. Excellent. Before you should make a copy of channel template JS called channel.js and specify the name of the channel to which you want to connect. Usage. Download Node.js from nodejs.org and install it. Excellent. Dependencies. Install dependencies using npm. npm install and run the bot using Node.js. So nice and simple. And I see Frosty has sent over a image. Let me take a look here. Let's go bring that up on stream. So this is how you want your equalization line to look. That should be separate and enhance your mic. If that doesn't work, then the treble should be straight instead of going down there to the right. Okay, should be simple enough. I will take a look at that off stream and see if I can get that to work a little better. Let's go make a note of that before I forget. So thank you for that. That looks great. Frosty says, I already have way too many Discord servers as it is, and I can't keep track of them as it is. I get that too. Yeah, that's one of my issues with Discord, is there's just so many Discords out there. I follow a few Twitch ones, and I'm on the Blender one, and I think the Unity one, and it's just too much, so I get that. I certainly appreciate that. There's just way too much out there sometimes. Alright, so we've got the README to the point that I'm happy with it, so I'm going to stop off the README there. The next step is one that I haven't added here yet, which is, let's go ahead and run the bot, just so I can demonstrate what's going on here. So the bot responds to the hello command, so I'll go type that in to chat here. And the bot responds, says, hello, cute pixel. One issue is it does respond to every person who types in the hello command, so if someone else were to type that in, you would also get a response, or if I've set up a Streamlabs command or Stream Elements command to do this as well. So So I do test, stream element says hello, and QTest responds back. And so one of the things I want to do is have like the concept of a bot owner, so that some commands, and particularly as I work towards, say, implementing the basic CRAPS logic, I'm going to want that to be controllable by only the bot owner. And so I think one of the things I want to do is add bot owner configuration. I think is the next thing I want to do, so that it only responds to the bot owner rather than everyone. For some commands. I think the initial commands are going to be all testing commands, and I wanted to only respond to the bot owner. For future usage, there's going to be some commands that'll respond to for everyone. But for the basic debug testing stuff, I think only the bot owner. I've got another message here. Oops. Something is broken with my whispers. Yeah, so just respond to that. Thank you, Frosty. I will, as I said, I will do that when I get a chance. I think I'll remember that. Because I don't want to fire up Discord on stream. I haven't set up Discord. I haven't used Discord in a long while, and I remember that Discord has some issues on Linux, so I don't think it's something I could use on stream safely, so I will I'll poke at that off stream. Alright, so I think we want to work on a bot owner, so let's go ahead and stop the bot. Control C to stop that there, and start working on a bot owner setup. So first, I think I want to convert from channel template into a configuration. So let's actually delete this file. Don't know what file it's trying to delete. Let's delete channel.js. Let's rename this to configuration template. Frosty says, or you could just shoot me a message here on Twitch, whatever tickles your fancy. Yeah, either way. On my setup here, on my stream setup is a little bit unique in that I have a completely separate Linux install for my stream. And that's where I keep access to Twitch and Discord and whatnot. And so I frequently don't have access to this stuff unless I'm actively streaming, and so I'm working on a way to do that. Part of it is just to protect my own identity. Don't want to be swatted and crap like that. It's so easy to accidentally reveal your name or something like that on stream. So yeah, probably Discord. I could probably add in. I could probably check Discord a little bit more regularly than Twitch. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. So for this, let's go with config template, because I like the shorter version of config versus configuration. Let's close that. Use this template to create a file called config. With your desired configuration. I wanted to think about this a little bit here. fact, what I think I want to do is let's comment out everything at this point. While I figure out the configuration. Say var config is equal to require config.js. I think we're going to want to do an object here. It's been a long while since I've done object construction. I think I have examples of this here, though. Yeah, so we have member variable, colon, and then the value. So we could say channel, colon. Looks like we don't need a semicolon. We're probably going to need a comma, though. So comma. And we'll say owner. Say font owner here. Let's see, Frosty says, I'm quite flexible. I can be contacted very easily from Steam, Battle.net, Origin, Uplay, Emo, or whatever platform you might want to use that works best for you. Just tell me what works best for you, and I'll DM you the info to you. Well, if you're okay with email is probably the best for me, because that's something I can check from multiple places, and it'll give me a good excuse to pay more attention to my email and keep that inbox cleaned up. So yeah, I've just got a simple Gmail you can use, so I can either whisper that to you, or you can do that. I'll just whisper it to you here. You could probably guess. Oh, yeah, I see you already sent me your email. We have the same thought. Okay, let's rename or copy the config into what's going on here. What's con? Contributors. Yeah. We'll just create a simple version of this here. Let's say var config is equal to that, and let's just do a dump of config. Console is not defined. Yeah, what am I doing wrong? Oh, probably this is lowercase c, not uppercase. Okay, cool. So we've created a simple object with channel, with the channel name, and owner with the bot owner. I think we can simplify this a little bit. Say channel, instead of channel name here, we'll just say channel name and bot owner. We could potentially simplify this, get rid of the pound sign. Frosty says, I'm going to check my email when I'm not doing anything else, which is usually like right before I go to bed, but I'll get back to you as soon as I wake up because it's the first thing I see. Oh, cool. Yeah, email is one of those things that's tricky for me. I get so much of it on my regular email address. My Qt Pixel one, I don't get a ton, but I also don't check it very regularly, so I'll make an effort to check that a little more regularly now that I'm coordinating with someone. Name the channel to connect to without the pound character. Name of the bot owner. Name of the bot owner. Some commands only work when sent by the bot owner. We'll leave this alone right now. That's kind of implied. I think I'll want to do some formatting on this here. Not a lot, but just a little bit there. Now let's try this again. So delete to config and then to re-copy it here. Is there a duplicate? Yeah, let's duplicate it. Rusty says, yeah, I have another one that's linked to the one I sent you. The one I sent you is my personal one. I have another one that's for equally epic. Nice, yeah, I'm getting a boatload of email addresses as well. They seem to accumulate over time, don't they? So in this case, the channel name is Qt Pixel. The bot owner is also going to be Qt Pixel. Let's see if this works. Channel Qt Pixel, owner Qt Pixel, excellent. So that seems simple enough. Let's go fix up our code now. Now anywhere that uses channel, we'll need to revisit here. Alright, so the channel, this is going to be config.channel, and we need to add in a... Actually, what might be easier is to do, let's undo that. We could say var channel is equal to that plus config.channel. And that should be enough. Frosty asks, by the way, Pixel, would you be willing to work with me for a Minecraft mod pack? I'll do the art, I do everything myself, but you can't code to save your life. Possibly, it depends on the mod pack. I haven't done Minecraft mods, I've only done Minecraft plugins. So I'm not sure how the modding works. And it's largely going to depend on what you're trying to do. But if you want to email me some of a rough overview of what you're thinking of, that's something I can look at and think about. I can't promise it's something that'll be on my alley, but I'm open to at least talking with you about it and see what might be involved. But as I said, I'm not familiar with the modding process, so I'll have to research that. And if that's going to be super hard, that might be out of my league. And if you're trying to do something that's really crazy difficult or complex, that might be out of my league as well. But we'll see. I'm open to looking at other possible projects. Alright, so I load our config from config.js. We set our channel name by prefixing it with the pound sign. That's kind of an IRC thing for those who aren't familiar with IRC. And that should be enough to get everything else working here. We don't actually do anything with the owner yet. This is just to make sure that the bot still works. So let's go give that a try, make sure the bot still works here. We've joined queued pixel. Let's do the simple hello test, make sure that still works. And it should still respond to Streamlabs as well. Or Stream Elements. I get confused. I know other people use Streamlabs, I'm apparently using Stream Elements. And so the next step is to have this respond to only the bot owner. Owner, so we want to say if message is hello. Let's start with that. If message is hello. And user state dot user name is equal to config dot owner. So this way it should only respond to the hello command, the hello message, and will only respond if the username from the message is equal to the owner from the configuration. Now I have some mild concerns here in that what if someone uppercases this, perhaps? And so we probably want to do like a 2 lower on all this, or if this user state username comes in uppercase. I'm pretty sure this always comes in lowercase. But it would be good to just lowercase everything just so we have that all set up here. Frosty says that maybe we could build a plugin or asset pack that could make this. Planet Minecraft Project Infinite Block Brawl. Maybe. That sounds like it might be kind of an evolved project. But I'll take a look. So yeah, I'll take a look at that off stream and I'll let you know if that's something I think I might be able to do. So yeah, I'll take a look.
We
Alright, so I was thinking through what to do about the string comparison, and we should probably do like a to lower on it. So say JavaScript, say string to lower. Looks like there's a to lowercase method, so we'll just steal that. Yeah, let's give that a try. Let's see if that works. So now it should only respond to me. So if I type in the hello command here, it should respond to me. Or it'll crash. Oh, because I didn't add in a period. So let's go take a look and fix that. I copied the function name, but I forgot to put in the period here. Let's try that one more time. So it responds to me, and then when I have stream elements say hello, it does not respond to stream elements. So the owner configuration is working. And hello, Pixel Grief. Pixel Grief is also poking at things, and it doesn't respond to Pixel Grief either. Haha! Because Pixel Grief is not the owner. Pixel Grief says, boo! You're too late. You had your chance. But now I've locked it down. That's right, we'll have more stuff you can do to interact with the bot as I get you get more functionality running. Pixel Grief says, I am the pwner! See, Frosty says, all I need the plugin asset pack to do is set TP points, teleport points maybe, have the resource block be upgradable, have a pickaxe be upgradable, and enchanted based on what level the player has. So it's not that intricate. We can talk more about it after the stream, sure. Yeah, if it's not too bad, we could take a look at it and see what we could do. You can look at some of the other Minecraft plugins I've done. Yeah, the most elaborate one I've completed so far is probably the stimulus package. So if you wanted to see an example of the type of complexity I've already done, there is that. Yeah, stimulus package. You can take a look there if you want to see the type of plugin I've already done. There's also another one that's more elaborate that I haven't completed yet, called CoreCraft. That would be... oh, where is it? This one here. This is one I haven't completed yet. I just kind of got overwhelmed with the complexity and moved on to something else. But those are probably the two more elaborate plugins I've done to give you an example of what I'm able to do, so you can maybe judge and see if what you're looking at is about that degree of complexity. And yeah, we'll chat off stream and see what makes sense. All right, so the final thing to do is to update our README file. Instead of channel template, we have config template. Call it config.js. And let's see here, I need to specify the channel to connect to and the bot owner. Frosty says, do you have it on like a site like Bucket or Spigot or other sites so you can take a look at everything? You're very unfamiliar with Git. I don't, unfortunately. However, I've done a release of at least, not Corecraft, but of Stimulus package. And so you can go to the releases, the Stimulus package releases, and I give you either a zip or a tar GZ that you can download. You will have to compile it yourself. I haven't released a compiled jar file, but if you know enough about Java to compile things, I do have instructions for how to compile in how to do in the README. I've got an installation, compilation. So if you're familiar with Maven, it should be really easy to compile and use. If not, what I can do is I can build a jar file for you and then email that to you. But yeah, if you're comfortable compiling Java, I would say start with this, and I'll just link it here. And see if you could get that to work, and if not, just let me know and I can help you with that. Unfortunately, I do not have a release for Corecraft yet because I haven't gotten to a kind of a 1.0 functionality. So the only one you can release right now is Stimulus package. I do have another plugin if you wanted to check out my last plugin that's also been released. That would be Dynamic Map Shop Chest. That's another one I've done. That could also be interesting if you want to look at that. And there's a release for this one as well. Frosty says the only Java thing I know is Minecraft commands, if that even count. Well, yeah, so you might have a hard time compiling these. And ultimately you need a Java development kit that includes the Java compiler. You need to install Maven, which I do link to Maven here. Use Apache Maven. So if you install Maven, you should be able to build it. But I recognize that's a few extra steps, so however, if you just want to check out the plugins, you can play on our server. We have a public Minecraft server that we use where these plugins are running. You can go to play.aberrantwonder.com to see what the plugins do. And in fact, I think I have a... Oh, is that not working? Oh, it helps if I type it in correctly. We have a dynamic map that shows off the Shop Chest dynamic map plugin. So this is the map plugin I had done where we create these regions on the dynamic map for different shops. You can see what is available, how much, what they're selling it for, what they're buying it for. So that's an example of one of the plugins I've built. So you can connect to that Minecraft server and play around and see what that looks like. We have other shops. I know Pixel Grief was also on stream, so we can look at the Pixel Grief shop. Frosty says, wait, we're the original Dynamap dev. No, I am not the dynamic map dev. What I've done is I've created a plugin that uses the dynamic map plugin. They allow you to hook into their API and add new layers to it. So that's what I've done is I've hooked into their API and I've added a new shop layer that connects to our Shop Chest plugin and shows up this useful information here. So that's an example of one of the plugins I've done. But no, I'm not a dynamic map developer. The other plugin, Pixel says 1,724 chickens for sale. Come get yours. The other plugin, Stimulus package, that's not as obvious. You won't see that from the dynamic map. You'll have to actually connect to the server, and that'll give you stimulus. It'll pay you stimulus every few minutes. I think, what, every 15 minutes? I'd have to remind myself of how we've configured that. But you get stimulus every few minutes, and it's based on number of active players, the economy, and whatnot. And so, yeah, you don't even have to play with the plugins. You can just connect to the server and play with those. Our server's running an older version of Minecraft, so you will need to use an older version. I forget what version we're using off the top of my head. 1.12 maybe? I'm not sure. And so that's kind of where we're at. Oh, the chatbot is continuing to run in the background here. That is useful. Alright, so we're updating our configuration to make reference to the configuration. So make a copy of config template called config and specify the name of the channel. And let's see, maybe we could do specify... maybe specify your configuration settings. And then I'm guessing like maybe a bullet point list might be more useful here. So let's see if we could do like a markdown bullet point list. Markdown bullet list. Emphasis, inline links, referenced links, images, bolded lists. Yeah, we'll just do regular bolded lists. We don't need a numbered list here. So say a star. First one was owner. Okay, don't know what's going on there. Name the channel to connect to without the pound character, or the hash character, whatever you call that. So we're basically copying out the stuff from the config template. And it doesn't hurt to have things documented multiple times. Although we could do this. Leave the more detailed information to the file. I misspelled that. Let's spell owner correctly. Let's take a look. Frosty says, in a case I'm doing stuff like that, I'm quite certain you could easily make if it block brawl a thing. I got stuck at it not working in single player, but I could easily do that if you made an asset pack for it, or go work on multiplayer only with a plugin if that's easier again. Yeah, I do think, for me at least, a multiplayer plugin would be easier. Because I'm familiar with like the Spigot and Bucket APIs, and I'm not familiar at all with how to do a mod. So my perspective, a plugin would be a lot easier. So yeah, it just kind of depends on what specifically you're trying to do and complexity. So that's something I will look at. All right, so what have we done here? We've dropped the channel file and replaced it with a config file. And then we recreate the channel variable based on the config.channel property. And then we've added in this more elaborate check on the hello command. So if the username of the message equals the owner, and we lowercase everything just to avoid case issues, then we respond, otherwise we ignore it. See, it looks like channel template.js, that's been deleted. And we've updated our configuration aspect here. Make a copy of config template called config, specify configuration settings, and we've added that stuff there. Yeah, so that looks good. Let's go clean up this. I don't know about you guys, this music is not doing much for me right at the moment, so I might change our pretzel channel shortly. If you do have any feedback about the music, you're more than welcome to let me know. Or if you really like a song that you want to hear, you can always run the song command to hear more about it. I guess it's not too bad, but that one section wasn't so great for me. Yeah, so let's go git remove channel template. Okay, we need to fix up our git ignore because now we're picking up config.js. So let's go fix that. Instead of channel.js, we'll go with config.js. Excellent. Yeah, so we've got this new config template. Let's go just take a look at that real fast. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but just make sure it has our header here, our standard copyright header. Oh, let's see. Let's spell your correctly. W.R.S. Sanchez. I'm not sure if I pronounced your name. Rar Sanchez. Do you know Rasa for developing chatbot? I am not familiar with Rasa. I'm just building this in the Twitch.js library. So we can figure out where this is documented. Twitch.js. Yeah, this is the one I'm using here. So yeah, not familiar with Rasa. Yeah, so we got the header, we've got our documentation spelled correctly now, then our exports, our channel name, and our bot owner. W.R. Sanchez says it's a good code library. Sure, let me take a quick look here. Twitch Rasa. Be more specific, chatbot. This is what you're looking for here, the Rasa HQ open source machine learning tools for developers to create contextual AI assistants and chatbots. It looks cool, but it's not something I've ever seen before. You say you don't know if they've implemented a Twitch support. Yeah, I don't see too much about it. It looks cool. Doing this for Twitch might be interesting. Core. Not seeing anything coming up about Twitch. Oh, okay, code of the Rasa Twitch live stream and building bots. Okay. So maybe. Looks like they might have some Twitch support. Frosty says, so what the map is about, you compete against one or more people that has a block in the middle of their own arena. So this is more about your Minecraft project. You have to look at that off stream. I don't want to go down too far in that on stream here because my focus right now is on the Twitch chatbot. But yeah, I'll make a note of that and look at that off stream. I get too sidetracked from the project of the day. Yeah, so Rosdy's. Oh, no worries, man. I'm very excited about that. I just if I go too far down that path, I won't get any work done on the Twitch bot. So yeah, I'm not trying to blow you off. I just want to make sure I focus on this, and I'll look at the Minecraft stuff when I have more of a chance to do so. Because otherwise, I'll be here all day looking at it, which I kind of want to get some progress done on the bot. Alright, so just make sure this is still accurate here. We've got the header, we've got the documentation, we've got the actual export section. So that looks good. Let's go do a diff on everything else and see where we're at. So again, ignore, we've swapped out config.js instead of channel.js. In the main Twitch Craps bot JavaScript, we now load in config rather than channel. We've set up channel to be the # plus the config.channel. So we've made our check here on the command a little bit more elaborate. So that not only does the message have to be hello, but your username has to match the name of the owner, the bot owner. And then we've updated our documentation. Make a copy of config template.js called config.js and specify your configuration settings. Channel, name of the channel to connect to, owner, name of the bot owner. That looks good. Frosty says, no worries, the project has been off for quite a while. So I think that people can wait as long as it would take to get to a released point. Yeah, sometimes things take a while. Hello, Princess Rika, welcome back to the stream. Just continuing to work on the Twitch chatbot from last week. And about ready to commit a change here. Just making sure everything looks good, which I think it does. So we've add a bot owner configuration. The bot only responds. Well, let's see here. Respond to the hello command only if the sender is the bot owner. That'll be a good one there. And if I remember correctly, I can't use the exclamation point in a git commit message via the command line. Although let's try this. Let's see. I could probably do this. Let's add. See if it's picking up the rename there. Yeah, renaming channel template to config template. So last time I did a commit message with the exclamation point in it, I had a error. Event not found. Wow. Doesn't even remember that as something I typed in. But I bet if I escape that, I might be able to do that. Let's see what that does. Nope. Interesting, so I can't use exclamation point even in quotes from the command prompt. This guy can use git commit -- amend and just fix it up by hand, because I know I could do it inside the editor. Princess Rika gets a little bit of a chuckle. We learn something new every day. It's some of these tools are quite tricky sometimes. Let's go ahead and push that. Push that latest change to GitHub. For those of you following along at home, you can go bring up the code on GitHub. Let's see if I can find it here. Frosty says, by the way, the links to the Aberrant Wonder subreddit and your Twitch profile, or whatever you want to call it, don't work. Uh-oh. Let's take a look here. Huh, are you sure? Marky G 6000 says single quotes for exclamation point. Just gonna bring up my personal Twitch channel here briefly. And so somebody's saying, I forget who, let me bring up my chat again. Frosty says the links to the Aberrant Wonder subreddit on your Twitch profile don't work. So I go to here, and I get to this, but I'm also a moderator for this, so I might be able to see it. Let's try this without being logged into Reddit. And it even works when I'm not logged in, although I'm getting their old stuff. CDN error. Well, if SteveVoid1990 is seeing a CDN error, that is probably an error on Reddit side and not something I can control, unfortunately. A little surprised it's working for me, but not for you guys. Let's try this directly. Yeah, the tutorial in rules looks like it may not be working. Oh no, that came up for me too. Yeah, Pixelcrew suggests it's a Reddit fail. Yeah, Reddit might be having issues. But if you don't want to play, here's what you need. Just go to play.aberrantwonder.com. The main thing is we are using an older version of Minecraft. I forget the version, but we're at least one major version back. Saver1990 says, our CDN was unable to reach our servers. Please check Reddit status if we consistently get this error. Well, let's take a look. And Reddit status is down. That's how you know things are truly on fire. Is when your status page also catches fire. Let's see if the non-secure version works. Huh, we'll try the non-secure version. Pour water on the servers. Yeah, so that link, I think Twitch redirected that to a secure link. If you try the non-secure link, it redirects to this, which does work. I'll put this in chat so you can take a look at that. And of course it says everything's fine. Which, I don't know, we're seeing a Reddit.com error rate going up, so I don't know, looks like things are broken. Somewhat broken, at least. But, I don't know, I'd say keep banging on it, and you will hopefully get to our Discord eventually. Or not our Discord, our Reddit page eventually. It should be there. Just Reddit might be having some difficulties today. It happens. Yeah, see, I don't need my channel open twice. Alright, so I've pushed all this to my GitHub. Let me just take a quick look and see if this still works here, or just review the changes, specifically this one here. Frosty suggests Anonymous being pissed at them again for something again, sending a DDoS attack. I hope not. Those are a real pain in the butt. I use Reddit for a lot of stuff, but if it's down, that's not so fun. Now this looks good. Make a copy of config template.js called config.js and specify your configuration settings. Channel, name of the channel to connect to, owner, name of the bot owner. Nice and simple, and we'll just continue to add to that configuration as we need to. Okay, let's go look at what's next here. So we've added a bot owner configuration. Yeah, Frosty says probably. Yeah, we have no evidence as to what exactly is going on Reddit. There could be any number of things going on. It doesn't necessarily have to be an attack of some variety. Alright, so next step is to stay under the message limit. This isn't such a big deal right now because the bot only responds to the one command and it only responds to the bot owner. Yeah, so it's not like the bot is going to spam itself into oblivion, but let me just kind of give you a reason for why we want to do this. The Twitch bot limits, I think is what it is, rate limit. Princess Rika asks, is there a Reddit subreddit? Maybe someone's posted there. I don't know if there's a generic Reddit subreddit, but it does tend to show up in like the big ones, like I forgot what, like Ask Reddit or Out of the Loop or something, or some of the places it might show up. Here's what I was looking for, the command and message limits. These are the limits, or there are limits to the number of IRC commands or messages you're allowed to send to the server. If you exceed these limits, you're locked out of chat for 30 minutes. So 20 per 30 seconds. Users sending commands or messages to channels which they do not have moderator or operator status. 100 per 30 seconds if you are a moderator or operator. 50 per 30 for known bots, and 7,500 for verified bots. So we are not a known bot. We're definitely not a verified bot. I will probably end up making this bot a moderator at some point. But I think for now, I'm going to just assume that that it is not a moderator. Let me get shop on chat here. Frosty says, or it could be they're applying a countermeasure to the new DNS hack that's going on now. We get routed through the hackers before being routed over. Ooh. I have not heard about that one. That sounds awful. Yeah, Pixel says, I gotta run. Love the work you're doing and look forward to playing some crap soon. Excellent. Well, thank you for checking me out, Pixel Grief. I'll see you next time. Now is a good time to remind people of my stream schedule. My next stream will be Thursday, January 31st at 2 p.m. And then I'll stream again on Super Bowl Sunday, February 3rd at 9 a.m. Pacific time. That stream will wrap up before the Super Bowl begins, so no worries of missing the Super Bowl if that's what you want to do. So yeah, back to the message limits. So this is basically what I'm trying to do, is to come up with an approach to deal with the message limits. If we say 20 per 30 seconds, that means we can send, say, 40 per minute. Which is like, well, let's be sure we stay under that. So if we say like 1 every 2 seconds, that would be about 30 per minute. And so that would be a reasonable starting point. So that's basically what I came up with, was to say, let's send 1 message every 2 seconds, but make it configurable so that if somebody wants to send messages faster or slower, or if they manage to get a known or verified bot, they can configure that a little bit. And so kind of what I want to do is create a message queue to store up the messages we want to send, create a small timer that sends those every 2 seconds, and just pull from the queue. I don't want to spam my chat channel, so I'm not going to do this on chat. I'm going to create a kind of a test loop here to test this with outputting to the console, and we'll see what we can do here. So I think again, we're going to just let's comment everything out, since we don't want to mess with anything right at the moment, and just figure out how to do a repeating timer or something. JavaScript timer. So there's a set timeout. And you repeat execution, there's set interval. Well, let's try this. Let's create a simple function. There's a console.log. Foo. Well, let's call foo and just test this and see what this does. Excellent. So now I need to put this in a bit of a loop. So let's go look up our code again. We'll say set interval function blah blah blah. Let's see, we've actually built up our function, so I think we'll just call foo. We said every 2 seconds. Let's see what that does. Frosty says, I'm sorry, I can't remember where I got the DNS hack from, so you could so you get more info about it. Yeah, well, I can go look it up. I'm sure it'll be on Reddit. Oh, wait, Reddit's down. No. Yeah, I normally see stuff like that through Reddit, so I'll look for that there off stream when I have a chance. And there's so much stuff going on at all days, it's hard to keep track of it all. Princess Rico likes my humor, apparently. Alright, so I think we have a 2-second timer here. I'm not timing this explicitly, so I can't tell you for sure that it is 2 seconds, but yeah, it looks about 2 seconds to me, just from eyeballing it. Just memorize the IP addresses of everywhere you go, no problem. Yes, if only I had a memory capable of memorizing IP addresses. It's not too bad with IPv4, but oh my god, if we ever switch to IPv6, we are so screwed. Yeah, so probably the next thing to do, we want to create a queue data structure to hold in a queue of commands or a queue of messages to send. Last I checked, there isn't a JavaScript queue data structure. Frosty says, I can only remember the gateway and IP4 for my home network, and that's it. Princess Rika says, Google on Cloudflare DNS are easy deliberatively. Yeah, that's the, I think that's the 1.1.1.1 for Cloudflare, and Google is what, 8.8.8.8 or 8.8.4.4 or something. It's been a while since I've set those up, but yeah, they're nice and easy. Well, somebody suggested like a shift option, push or shift, or... And so I think I could probably do a poor man's queue. And we'll just use these kind of built-in array shift functions and shift removes the first element from an array and returns that removed element. This method changes the length of the array. So yeah, let's try something like this. Let's say var q is equal to and q dot what? Can we push stuff to it? I think say q dot push say 1. Push 5 things to it here. Frozzy says 1001 is the secondary for Cloudflare. Ah, okay. Yeah, I had not remembered their secondary. It's something I set up ages ago and just hadn't looked back. Let's comment this out for the moment, and let's do a console.log on Q to see what that looks like. Excellent, so we've got our 5 elements there, nice and easy. Now, let's do a console.log q.shift. And console.log q. Oops, I need to actually use parentheses around that. Okay, cool. So it shift pulls off the first element, 1, and then updates the array. So that is perfect. That's exactly what we want. So let's do this. We'll say message plus shift. Let's see what this does. I'm hoping this will break at some point once the queue becomes empty. Undefined. Excellent. So, yep, though it's not quite an exception, but it is... it is undefined, so it does give me something I can poke at here. Basically, I need to do something like, if q dot... Is there a length? I could do like a length. Or like an is empty. There's an array dot length from is array. I'm not seeing an empty. Yeah, so we'll just do a quick check here. If the length is 0, then we'll do say no more messages. No more messages. Oh, and we probably need to do a return here, just so we don't try to log the message. So let's give that a try. Okay, great. I think we have a basic template set up for the queue processing system here. I think we can simplify this. We'll just say return. I need to do that. Say process queue. Cool, so it sends the 5 messages and then just sits there. So that is perfect. Yeah, so let's begin to think through what to do with this. So let's go recreate, or not recreate, but uncomment our stuff here. Let's go create kind of a queue. We'll say var message queue is equal to the empty array. And we'll say function process queue. Have a bit of a mess here with our code, and looks like we do have a client variable we might be able to use. I'm not sure if it's going to be in scope. Yeah, I think it will be. We'll see. We'll test. We'll see what we get, and Alright, so we're going to say client say to the channel, which should still be accurate. Instead of the hard-coded message, we're going to just pull off the top message from the queue. In this case, it'll be message queue. Process message queue. The message queue's length is 0. We don't need that. Yeah, so if we have nothing to send, we just return, otherwise we send the message. And then what we can do down here is to say message queue dot push. And just so we could test a little bit, we're going to spam just a tiny little bit. 1 of 2. Just so we could test to see if this shows up. Now the last thing we had to do is to set up an interval here. We call this what? Process message queue.
Black magic.
We're probably also going to want to make this be configurable, but we'll stick with what we have just for the moment. And see what this does. And hopefully I have not done something that's going to cause it to get it timed out right away here.
That's what I'm talking about right here.
So you get caught up in chat here. Yeah, I agree with Princess Rika. Try to avoid the unicorn treatment. Everyone here is going to be quite smart and doesn't need to be treated specially for who they are or what they are. Let's see here. So yeah, I think there's nothing here to worry about. We shift messages off the queue. And so that would mean the queue will empty. If we don't have anything there, we do return. We've tested all of that, and then we do have the 2 second rule. So I don't think it'll spam the channel, but we'll see. This is a time where bugs can crop up and cause me to do bad things. So let's try this and see what we get. Excellent. So it does seem to wait 2 seconds between each message. I'm not going to do more than that because I don't want to spam the crap out of my channel here, but we can see how that is working.
I can't be stopped.
Now let's go back to where we were before. Princess Rika says, I just realized the queued pixel just made a queue. Yes, queued pixel just built a queue. And we actually learned part of the origin of my name, which is I wanted a name that had kind of the technical element of a queue. And then I like the concept of pixels for like gaming and whatnot. So that's kind of the origin of my name, is the programming data structure queue followed by the graphic data structure pixel. And yes, I just built a queue.
Black magic.
Let's see, I think I had a note here for making this configurable. So let's go ahead and do that now. We have our config template. We go with like message delay, maybe? Let's go with 2000 for this. Princess Rika asks, does it also play on cute? Your avatar is a cute pixel. That kind of part of it as well. just I wanted a cute art style. I hired an artist, and we kind of went back and forth a few times with different ideas for the logo and the artwork. And yeah, I kind of wanted a cute, happy kind of look and feel for that. I think I'm glad you kind of noticed that as well. It's a good eye. Delay in milliseconds. Delay in milliseconds between sending messages. Actually, I think I like to do it like this. Let's drop that. I'll just say milliseconds. I find it's very helpful when documenting configurations to specify what the unit is. Because otherwise somebody looks at 2000 and they might have a guess as to 2000. When you see something in the thousands for delay, usually going to be talking milliseconds. Somebody might assume that. But there's lots of different options. So simply specifying milliseconds as opposed to seconds or minutes or hours or nanoseconds or something else clarifies that right away. It's always good to include those units. When you start talking physics, you're wanting to talk about like meters per second or miles per second or stuff like that. Including what your units mean will help people later understand what's going on. Princess Rika says, you're using a library with third delay in, is that what, nanoseconds, I think? I'm not sure. I don't recognize all those characters, but it's not milliseconds, so it would be a little bit awkward. Microseconds, okay. That would, another reason to document all those things. So I've added the configuration. Let's go, let's add this to my file. Let's just copy paste this whole thing over to my localized version here. And boom, there we go. Yeah, let's try a configuration of like 10 seconds and just see what that does here. In order for this to take effect, we need to modify our bot. And this should be config. What do I call it? Message delay. Actually, I probably want to call this interval. Let's call this interval message interval. That's right, Princess Rika, you're working on a interpreter virtual machine. I remember you were talking about that a little bit when I was working on my own kind of interpreter compiler thing a couple weeks ago. Yeah, so I'll pull this over for our template, which I also have open here. Go fix up all of this. $2,000 here. And what's next is I need to actually now use the message interval. We've configured it, but we haven't used it yet. Well, I did, but I used the older version. So this should work. Let's actually go add this back. Add our little spam test here. 1 of 2, 2 of 2. So this should be delayed by about 10 seconds each. Let's give that a test. I hate to spam my channel, but it does. It's kind of the easiest way to test this right at the moment. Oh. I misspelled config pretty horribly. Config. Alright, let's give this a test. Hello, chatbot. Okay, cool. So that does seem to be about 10 seconds apart, and does seem to be working just fine. So that's great. Let's go back to 2000 so that it's more reasonable. 10 is obviously going to be way, way too long, but 2 seconds should be pretty reasonable. Yeah, let's go back to... Well, let's get rid of our spam. We'll just go to the one response here now. And we'll test that one more time just to make sure that everything still works. Excellent, comes back nice and fast. We got rid of our spam stuff. So I think we're at a good commit point. Let me just check my notes and see where we're at. Stay under the message limit, use a message queue, send one message every 2 seconds, and make it configurable. So we've done all that. Add a message queue. Oh, got a train in the background. Sorry about that, guys. And what did Twitch say about this? This is to stay under the message limit. Let's see, add a message queue to stay under the Twitch limit for sending messages. I think that's kind of borderline for how long I want to commit message to be, but I think it is reasonable. It's 72 characters, so I think it's right at the edge. I don't have a hard time coming up with a way to abbreviate that a little bit. Alright, so I've made a couple of changes here. We've changed our crap spot. We've added in a message queue and a process message queue function. When we respond to the hello command, rather than responding directly, we push a message to the message queue. And then at the very end, we've set up an interval to process messages out of that queue every 2 seconds. Then we've updated our config templates to add in a message interval of 2 seconds. Everything else just got realigned. So it looks good to me. Take a second to get caught up on chat. Yeah, so Frosty says, looks like Rika's working on VM stuff. Princess Rika says, always more fun to make something neat and new than to get something quite right. Still some design work to do. Yeah, more like a JVM than VirtualBox or VMware. Yeah, I do know the temptation to work on something nice and shiny and new. And sometimes that cleanup work can be a little bit of a hassle sometimes. I do get that. Let's take a look at what's next. Implement basic craps logic from comeout roll to 7 out. Curtis Rickett says, I think I caught up a chat tick. Alright, if your message wasn't short enough, it's not getting read. Well, just, I don't want to read whole paragraphs of stuff. I kind of want to summarize what's going on. If people want to read the chat, they can read chat as well. Yeah, so the next thing to do is the craps table logic, the basic craps logic. And I think this is a good opportunity to maybe build in a class, like an external class. Because we kind of have all the Twitch logic is getting put into here. So it's been a while since I built a JavaScript class. Let's see what we could do. Let's say craps table.js and just see what we can do here. And I'll build this very similar to our config file, and that we will export a class. Well, let's just start testing this a little bit here. Let's build a function. Do console.log of foo. Say var craps table is equal to require craps table.js. Let's say craps table dot foo. Probably want to do a function foo. That's my identifier, so I probably need to do something like I know if I'm doing a variable, we would do your foo colon blah blah blah. I do something like that? I don't know. Nope, doesn't like that either. Doesn't like that. See, Frosty says, couldn't agree more with you there, Rika. It is more fun challenging yourself with new stuff, though a VM is no doubt an insane amount of work to get working. Not from OJVM. And Frosty also asked, Rika, why don't you stream and work on the VM stuff? You got an insane amount of people watching. I can understand not doing it. Streaming is a bit intense sometimes. Class function. How do I do a class function in JavaScript? we could try this. We could do it without the function keyword, which I thought I tried. Ah, there we go. I was close. What else are we going to need? So we've got... kind of my thought is we're going to add in like a roll function. And so we'll have a couple different states. We'll have like, we'll say the point is 0. Oh my, I need to do commas after these things. Okay. How do commas or semicolons work? Let me look at the config and... let's see what this does. Let's go review our code. Let's see what this does here. Yeah, so it needs commas. Rossi asks, what's the various differences between JVM, VB, and VMW? I only know a couple of those. JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Visual Basic, I believe, is, or VB, I believe, is Visual Basic. Not sure about that last one, though. Well, that might be a question more geared towards Princess Rika. Point is 0, that means there is no point. Otherwise, we'll say the point is point. Point is not defined. Let's see. Ah, there is no point. The point is 0. Okay. Frosty says I'm more directed towards Rika. My bad. I sometimes get distracted and don't notice if something is directed at me or not. Defeatist bot. There is no point. This is more of a craps table term here. For those who don't play craps, you basically need to establish a point on the table. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 will be the point. And so I'm using points to a point of 0 to indicate that there is no point. This one, there is no point. Just kind of slowly building up the basic logic here. So, we'll do like a roll function here. And I did some random numbers for JavaScript. Let's see how to do random numbers. JavaScript random. Math.random between 0 and 1. Do we have a better random? Then multiply it by 10. Proper random function. See, I'm not seeing a built-in random function to get a value between 0 or 1 and 6. This is what we need for a craps table. We need 2d6. And so we could say let's just do console.log math.random. Math.random. Let's go see what that does. And see, I probably don't need to connect to the Twitch channel while we're doing all of this. So let's just copy everything else out while we build this. Crapstable.foo is not a function. What did I do? Did I rename that to something else? Renamed it to roll. All right. There's no point, and it quits out. Okay, well, that's what we wanted to do, but for now, let's comment this out and go with just the random number generator. Cool. So as we expect, that is a value between 0 and 1. So they said between 0 and 9. So we'll probably want something like this. Math.floor, math.random times 10 times 6. And plus 1 and all that to get a value between 0 and 10. Now let's do this like a dozen times. Just so we can verify that it is working. 2, 3, 6, 6, 1, 1, 5, 6, 6, 3. Let's try like 50. I was looking to see if it ever hits 0 or hits 7 or anything like that. Looks good. So we've got a random number generator between 1 and 6. So let's just do this. Return that. Splat. Let's see what all that does. Excellent. just trying to think through what to do here. So I need to get 2 dice. So let's say var die1 is equal to this dot die roll. Var die2 is equal to this dot die roll. Var die total is equal to die1 plus die2. Let's do a die roll here. So roll is going to be die1, die2, total is going to be die total. See what that does. So 6-3 total is 9. Alright, so if the point is 0, we have no point. We need to figure out what the roll is. So if die total is equal to 4, editor's trying to be too smart. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Now we have ourselves a new point. Say this dot point is equal to die total copy and paste there. We'll say new point established. Otherwise, nothing really happens. Otherwise, what happens if the die total, so we go here, if the point is 0, so we have no point, we basically see if we establish a new point. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 establishes a new point, so we set the point. Then we log that the new point got established. I want to split this up a little bit here. Let's do the roll, and then let's do the total on a new line. Or we could do this. Let's try this. Just gonna experiment a little bit here.
Just kidding.
so if we do that, the new point is established. So otherwise we have a point, and we need to determine, do we actually win? Do we actually hit our point? So if this dot point is equal to die total, then we have a winner. Winner! And we'll reset the point to say this dot point is equal to 0. See, otherwise, we need to go, oh, and then if we win, we need to return, so we'll just stop processing. I suppose we could drop this. We could drop the return, and we could do an else if here. That might be more reasonable. Say else if. So now, if the die total is 7, the 7 out. We also reset the point. 7 out. Otherwise, we have a roll that is not the point and not the number 7, and we continue to play. The point is still live. So now let's do else on this. So let's review some very basic logic here. We start with the point as 0, so we start with no point. The objective with craps is you roll the die. A 7 or 11 is an automatic win. A 2, 3, or 12 is an automatic lose. Anything else, a 4, 5, 6, or 8, 9, 10, establishes a point. And then your objective on future rolls is to roll that point a second time before you roll the 7. And so I've simplified this a little bit. I don't handle like the 2, 3, 11, 12 stuff. I just ignore that. But we get our 2 dice. Your die 1, die 2 is equal to the die rolls. We get our die total. For these basic bets, we only care about the die total. We print out the actual roll. So we have die 1, comma, die 2, and then the total in parentheses. And now we have our logic here. If the point is 0, so we have no point, we then check to see if we've established a point on a 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, or 10. If we have that, then we say new point established. Now, I probably need to have like a else here. Editor's trying to outsmart me here. We could say like waiting to establish point. Now we can say no point established. No point. I don't know. I'll have to think about what to put for this. These console logs are eventually going to be possibly chat messages to go into the chat. Princess Rika says maybe you should just challenge the editor to do a contest of wits. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to do that challenge because I might lose on a bad day. And the editor is smart. It's just if I learned how to work with it a little bit better, I might have better luck. Or I just need to go into the settings and turn off all this auto-type junk. That's usually what happens, is I'll get pissed off enough to the point where I just turn that all off. Yeah, so if we establish a point, we say new point established, and here's the point. Otherwise, we say no point established. If there is a point, then we check to see if we've made the point. If we do, then we've won. Otherwise, we check to see if we've hit a 7. If we do, we've lost. 7 out. Otherwise, if nothing else happens, the point is still the point. So let's try this once and see what happens here. It crashes. Let's see what I've done wrong here. Oh, I actually need to include binary logic operators here. That would help. JavaScript will only do what I say, not what I mean. Alright, so we had a roll of 1 and 4 for a total of 5. New point established 5. So that seems to work. Be nice if I had some way of replicating this a couple times. I think what I'll do is I'll put this in a small for loop. Do I have one anywhere? I don't think I have one. For I is equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Frosty says, I need something to do. Well, lots of options there. Alright, so we had a comment roll of 3 and 2 for 5. New point established 5. Princess Ricka says, maybe someday we'll have psychic languages. They'll all be horrible and compiled to JavaScript. Oh my, that sounds like a horrible world. So I've established a point of 5. Then we roll again, a 2 and a 2 for 4. The point is still 5. We rolled a 3 and a 6, total of 9. The point is still 5. A 3 and a 5, 8. The point is still 5. Roll a 4 and a 3, 7. We 7 out. We lose. Then I do a 5 and a 5. We establish a new point. Princess Ricker says, maybe I should become a dystopian novelist. 5, 5, 10. We establish a new point of 10. 3, 6, 9. The point is still 10. 1, 3, 4. The point is still 10. 4, 6, 10. Winner! And then we go 2, 5. Winner again. And so I want to revisit some. So the logic appears sound. It seems to be working. Haven't tested every single edge case. Well, actually, I think we have, because we were here, and we've had a point where no point established. So we had that at least once. Yeah, the very ending had no point established. So we've gone through this logic here. We've established 2, maybe 3 points now. 1, 2, yeah, we've established 2 points. We've gone through this logic. We've had the winner and the 7 out. So I think all of the logic so far has been hit. So I think I kind of want to think through some of these messages here. So I like the output of the roll. I think that's great. We want to see what we've rolled. That'll be great for any of the bets. I think I will add a delimiter here. We'll just do that. New point established. I think that is useful knowledge. No point established. That's probably no one really cares about that, so I'm going to drop that. I don't like saying winner as such because there's pass line bets and don't pass bets. And so if someone hits the point, the pass line wins, but the don't pass loses. And so I think maybe a more generic, the point was made. We'll stick with that for now, kind of go generic. Then we'll do this as well, 7 out. Mostly it's going to be a loser, but for people who are betting on the don't side, that would be a win. And I think I'm going to get rid of this. So let's try this. Let's also let's do 20 rounds just so we have a little more output to look at and see what this looks like here. Yeah, so we have a roll, 4, 6, 10, new point established, 10. And we have 6, 4, 4, 6, 3, 7, 7 out. Then we have 3 craps. 6, new point established. 4, 8, 4, 4, 6, the point was made. 11 is a winner. 4 is a new point. So yeah, I think we have some good logic going here. Let's think through what to do with this. I like the messaging, I like the logic. I'm pretty happy with what I see so far. And so what I want is to have like a JavaScript event where instead of doing a console.log, I want to have like an event I send that we can listen to, similar to if we go to our Twitch configuration. Where is it? Yeah, we listen to this chat event. So we say client.onChat. We do something. So what I could say is say crapstable.onMessage. We could then log that. So let's look up how to do a JavaScript event handler. Or look up Kava. HTML events. I want to write my own events. Okay, there's all talk about custom events, or browser events. Let's look up JavaScript custom events. Creating and triggering events. This could be fun here. So we create an event, a new event build. Yeah, see, I'm looking for this format, this client.on. Looks really cool. Maybe I should just look up the code for the Twitch JavaScript. Oops, what did I do? Available on GitHub. Yeah, let's go look up GitHub. What's their license here? They're the MIT license. So if I look at this, I'm using the MIT license. So so I should be fine. Our Fosday says, well, I'm off to bed, need to get up early tomorrow. I'm in future land known as Sweden, though not as much future land as Rika, but still. Alright, well, hey, thank you for checking out the stream. Have a great day. I will catch you next time. And thank you for all your tips and tricks, and I will look at what you sent and see if I can improve the stream. I'll get back to you on the Minecraft stuff as well, so I'll get back to you when I have a chance. Here's client.js. Let's just see. We have import event emitter from event emitter 3. Alright, take care. I'm not even sure what the heck this is. Extends event emitter. DaVinci asks, what am I trying to do? So, that's a good question. That's very valid. So I have these console.log points in my craps table class. What I want to do is, instead of logging these to the console, I want to send messages to the Twitch channel. And so my thought is, if I was able to create like an event that, you know, this could be an event.sendMessage or something rather than a console.log, I could then listen to that event in my Twitch CrapSpot class. And then when that event fires, go queue the message to be sent. So that's kind of the what I'm trying to do. And so I saw that the Twitch JavaScript has this on approach, you know, this client.on. So I was thinking of being able to say something like this, to say, you know, craps table, we'll say craps table, table.on message. Oh, there's something here that's function. I needed to copy the whole block here. So I don't care about any of this. We'll just do this. We'll say message queue dot push. David Shah says, you want to implement your own event emitter paradigm in your craps table class? Yes. That is effectively what I'm trying to do. So this is the code I would like to write. It's a nice simple block of code, so I'll just do it in one liner here. Yeah, so I find it useful to think through what I'd like things to look like. Now I could probably simplify this and say, before I do this, let's do it like this. Let's say, let's comment this out. Do a small variant. We'll just say console.log on this. So we can test this without connecting to the Twitch channel, just to see if this is working here. And I think I've done a poor man's version of this in the past, so let me just try this. You know, we'll say message. How about send message? on message. And this will just do nothing. But we'll just do it like this. And now I think somebody can say craps table.on message. I need to look how to override a JavaScript function. Override JavaScript function. Okay. So we could say creps table dot on message is equal to function message. And we'll see what that does. We'll see if that gets us close enough to what we're trying to do. Not quite, because I didn't actually change anything in craps table. So let's go replace console.log with a call to on message. Console.log. Actually, should be this.on message. Let's give that a try. Excellent. So now we're going through our custom event. It's not really an event handler at this point. It's just I've kind of done this poor man's version of it, but it allows me to make progress without having to do a whole bunch of work here. Let's see, let's go back to our Twitch implementation. And so, yeah, I think what we'll do instead let's take this and slap this into here. Davinch has pasted in an example here. Yeah, that formatting would be a little tough to deal with. I think I have a version that'll work here for the moment. I'm going to start with this, and I'll clean this up and add more elaborate stuff as I need going forward, but I think this will work for the moment. And let's get rid of that. Don't want it to just loop automatically. There, we'll combine those, and then let's re-add in all of the Twitch stuff. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a new command. Instead of the hello command, I'm going to go with craps roll. And then when I receive this, I will say craps table.roll. And so if I've done this correctly, every time I type in the craps roll command, that will send that to the craps table, which will then do the roll. We'll have output. That output should come into this message queue, and I'm a little concerned about variable scope, whether this message queue will be in scope here, but I think it'll work. Let's try it and see what we get here. Dave Vinchez has pasted something in. Let me go take a look at this here. You've pasted in a craps table example here. Cool. Yeah, we'll go ahead and save this in my notes. As an event handler example, and I'll look at that when I have a little more time here. And thank you for that. That was from... Try to get the name of the person who sent that in. Dave Vinchez, thank you for that. So I think this will work. Just the only real concern is variable scope about that message queue. So let's give this a try and see what this does. And I'll run this using the craps roll command. Okay, great. We have a new point established of 8. Dave Vinchez says, should work since variables are hoisted. Yeah, that was my memory, that that JavaScript doesn't really care about variable scope in terms of where they occur in the file. It follows variable scope based on what is available in the context at the time the code runs. So, and it does appear to be working. And we rolled an 8 and we rolled another 8. We hit our point right away. That is perfect. So cool. That seems like a really, really good commit point here. Let's just test it a little bit more here. I don't want to spam our chat channel too much, but it does give us an opportunity to experiment a little bit. And hey, we rolled a 7, so no new point. We win right away. For those on the the pass line, that would have been a winner. Princess Rika says, "Joke, what does JavaScript care about?" JavaScript is actually a pretty cool language. I like the prototypical nature of it, that I'm able to take a function like onMessage and just overwrite it. And you can add new functions as you see fit. It's pretty... Princess Rika says, the point was made, rude bot telling us to shut up. Steve1990 asks, knock knock, who's there? Well, waiting for the punchline that, we will do another craps roll here. JavaScript is there. We've established a new point of 6. Excellent. We've hit a 4. Richard Trigger, I'm not home, hides from it. A 3. 5. Well, it seems to be working. I don't want to spam up chat too much here. I can fill up chat all day with these testing, but it does seem to be working just fine. See what 1990 says, bad execution of the joke, my bad. Yeah. Sometimes we have bad jokes, it's fine. There's always dad jokes. Lots of options for good dad jokes. Alright, so let's take a look at what we've done here. We've added in this new craps table file. We've added in the header, the standard copyright header, the MIT header there. Module exports, we've set the point to 0. We've built in this empty function, this onMessage function that we can override to send messages. So it was meant to go knock knock, who is there? Long pause. JavaScript. Trying to say something about how quickly and expediently JavaScript does your bidding. We've added our empty onMessage function that we can override, and we do override later on. We have this helper die roll function that just gets us the die roll. Then we have a roll function. Oop. My editor is messing with me. Old Ruby might be a better target for that one. I've never worked with Ruby. I guess I did use a little bit of Ruby for a web testing framework. I used was a Watir, W-A-T-I-R, web application testing in Ruby. That's my experience with Ruby years ago. Used to be incredibly slow, Apprentice Rika says. So we do our 2 die rolls. We have die 1, die 2, and we come up with the die total. Then we send a message. This is what our roll is. We have die 1, die 2, and then we send out the total. Then we have checks to see if we have established a point. Let's see here. We'll roll the dice. David just thought the joke was something regular expression related. Let's see, so I've added a comment to this function, roll the dice, and then I've got another comment saying the same thing. So let's say, alright, random values. Let's see. Trying to come up with more descriptive comments here. Roll the dice and up to the craps table status based on the roll. So now we can say roll the dice. If we have no point currently, check to see if we've established a point. See if the point was made. Yes, we got some regex stuff going on here. That joke will be hard to figure out. I never understood regex stuff. Syntax looks scary. Yeah, regular expression syntax can be pretty crazy sometimes. For very simple stuff, it's not too bad, but it does tend to get a little crazy sometimes. Check to see if the port was made. Check to see if we 7 out. Yeah, so pretty basic stuff here. Just like adding a little bit of comments just so that anyone who's looking at this will have a chance of seeing what's going on. Richard Ricka says, I'm not convinced the syntax can be mentally ill. I don't know, there's some languages out there that might get close. Do a couple quick tests here. I'll load our chat window just briefly. We've established a point of 4. Let's try it one more time. 448. So yeah, seems to be working. I haven't tested all of the edge cases, but just kind of going over the basics there. Make sure the comments I've added didn't actually ruin any formatting or syntax. So yeah, I think this file's looking pretty good. Let's go look at the rest of our diffs. Alright, so we've added in a craps table variable by requiring our local craps table file. We've added an override of the onMessage function. And then instead we push that message to our message queue. Let's see. Here in our onChat function, instead of going on hello, we look for craps role. And then rather than sending the hello message, we do the craps table.role. We still have the check on the username equaling the owner. So this way only myself can do the role for now. As I continue to build this up, I will have roles happen automatically based on who's betting and how long and whatnot. But I think for the moment, we have a pretty good commit point. Let's go take a look. In fact, I think this is a great comment to use. I'll just steal this. Implement basic craps logic. Let's go craps table logic. From comment role to 7 out. Now, Francis Ricka asks, talks about pronunciations of regex. The top 3 seem to be rejects, redgex, and regx. Hard G on the last one. My pronunciation is pretty close on those last 2, but I would say I tend to lean towards the last one. I tend to go towards regex. Like an egg. Oh, regex. Oh, I don't do that. Or in re-guitar. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I go more for the second one then, is more what I tend to personally go for. Regex. Okay, regex. That would make sense. So you're going to step away for 1 second to check on something here. I'll check my phone, see if that's blowing up for any reason. All right, so we've gotten some pretty basic logic in place. We've been doing the CLA. We've updated the README so that we have uses instructions. We respond to the hello command only if the sender is the bot owner, which we've dropped the hello command and we've gone with a craps roll command, added a message queue to stay under the Twitch limit for sending messages. And we've implemented a basic craps table logic from comment roll to 7 out. So we're going to continue here. Up next is to store a balance for each player. Always just place a simple bet on the pass line. Maintain a minimum balance for each player. Just trying to think through what to do next here. Trying to figure out if I want to continue at this point. I've been streaming for about 3.5 hours and can use some lunch and a break for a bit. So it might make sense if I took some time to kind of think through the next steps, because we're kind of up to a next major point. We need to start thinking through how players are going to place bets, how we're going to manage their data structures. Richard Rika says, I guess if no one wants to make fun of pronunciations of regex with me, I'll have to get something done. Restoring a balance for each player, I think we could do this with like a JavaScript class. We could just use it as a hash table. That's simple enough. Placing bets, we need to start thinking through how players are going to place bets. I'm thinking of something like, craps, bet, then we'll have like the type and then the amount. And so a pass line would probably look something like, pass line and then amount 1 or something. I'm not sure about units for that. Now if you wanted like a don't pass, that could be like D pass or a DP or something. I don't know if I wanted to do DP, but maybe D pass. Probably don't want to be super long, probably D pass. But that's all kind of down the road. Let's stick with just the basic pass line. So something like that. So try to think through who's going to listen to that. We have our Twitch craps bot, and we have this on chat function. And so I can say if the prefix craps is there, then we know it's a craps command, and we parse it out and send the rest to the craps table to process it. The craps table is going to have some commands to administrate it. I'm thinking things like craps enable, craps disable. These would likely be owner commands here. And we're going to have player commands. Stuff like that. There's the craps table is probably going to need to know who the owner is. So it's kind of separation of concerns. The Twitch craps bot, this file here, knows the owner, because we've got the config.owner. Do I pass that in to the craps table? Maybe easy enough to just pass that in at some point to say who the owner is. Or the craps table could always just read the configuration directly. You know, we could just bring in the configuration directly in the craps table rather than having to pass it in. So that might be an option. Might be a reasonable option there to have the owner commands be recognized. And so if we do that, we basically start passing in all that logic. So yeah, let's try that. Let's try a simple change here. Let's say a small refactoring to move processing of craps commands to the craps table. So let's go ahead and look at this real fast. We've got our craps bot. Let's take this, and we'll comment this out for the moment. Say, see, I need like a starts of. Does JavaScript have like a starts of? JavaScript string starts with. Yeah, so let's say if message.starts with to the craps, and we'll do a space at the end. So that way we know there's a sub class here, or a sub command. Yeah, we'll keep that. So if it starts with that, then we need to do what? Say command is equal to, I think we have an index of, so let's go look up index of. Should be like a whole string category of stuff here. Why am I not seeing that? Ah, there we go. Ends with, includes index of, well, we know index of should be 0. We could do like a split or a substring. What's the difference between sub-str and substring? I'm not sure what the difference is between these two. Let's give Google a try here. Say JavaScript substring or sub-str. The difference is in the second argument. The second argument to substring is an index to stop at, but not include. The second argument to sub-str is the maximum length to return. All right. Optional the position up to, but not including where to end the extraction. If omitted, it extracts the rest of the string. How about sub str? Length optional. The number of characters to extract. If omitted, it extracts the rest of the string. Okay, well let's try. Command equals message dot sub. We'll just use the shorter version because it doesn't really matter. They're both identical for my purposes. Want to start with, we can start with a space. We could say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try 4 just to test it here. We'll say command plus message. So this won't actually roll anything at this point. We're just going to do some quick tests to see what this does here. So node and anyone can type in at this point, but I'll do the quick test. Why am I not able to get to my window? There we go. Say craps foo. Command is craps foo. Okay, so I've mistyped something. Let's go take a look here. Oh yeah, I needed to do command, not message. Try this one more time. Craps bar. Yeah, so that's what we thought. We're getting the PS of craps. And so what we want to do is, let's also do this. Let's add in that and just so we can see what's coming up next. We'll go to 6. So we're just going to skip the first 6 characters here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to get the space, which is why I added these delimiters so we can actually see the spaces at this point. This time we'll do craps baz. And yeah, so we see the extra space there. But we're working. And so finally what we could do is do a trim to trim out the white space. So now if we do this one more time, say craps roll, well there's a real command now. And now we get the roll command finally. But we don't want to log it. What we want to do is send this to the craps table. Where is it? There it is. Got so many files that begin with the letter C. We'll say process command. And then we'll steal this over. Alright, so instead of message, it's command. Oh, we probably also want to pass in user. Username. Set the order of parameters earlier. We pass in generally user state message. We'll do username first, then the command. That'll be more similar to the Twitch parameter arrangement. So if command is equal to role, and if username is equal to config.owner.toLowerCase, and we probably need to include the config import. So let's go do that. Say process chat commands here. Alright, so we're basically taking the logic for processing the role command and put that into this process command function. We've added a little bit more logic here, so now we check to see if the message starts with the craps command with a space at the end of it. Then we trim it, or we substring it, trim it, and pass that. Well, let's actually pass it in now. So let's do craps table dot process command. And we said what user state dot user name followed by the command. Let's go see what that does. Verify that the logic is placed, so we check if it's the role command. We check if the username matches the owner. Then if it all matches, we roll. Here, we check to see if it's the right channel. We check to see if it's not us. Then we check to see if the message starts with the word craps. If it is, we pull out the command, the substring and trim, and then pass that along in. So that should be good. Let's give that a try. So let's try a bad case first. We'll say craps roll with no space or anything. And that does not do anything, which is good. We'll say craps foo. And then we'll say craps roll. Nice. Let's also test if the owner is working properly. So let's go do this here. Let's edit this command. Here's the test command from stream elements. And excellent. So the craps table ignores the message from stream elements as well. So it seems to be working pretty good. Let's go take a look. Alright, so in our craps table, we've added in the requirement on the configuration. We do that so that we can check who the owner is. We've added a new function, process command, to process chat commands. Check to see if it's a role, and if the username matches the owner. If it is, then we roll. Then inside our main Twitch setup, we check to see if the message starts with the word craps, or if we have the craps command. Then we process the substring and then pass that command into the craps table. And it works pretty good. Move processing of craps commands to the craps table. So yeah, probably the next major task is to start allowing players to place bets and kind of go through the whole process. I think that's a good thing to do for the next stream. I've kind of got a lot done today, and I'm getting kind of hungry, so I think I will break for today. I will, however, go ahead and push all of this to GitHub. So those who want to take a look at the work so far, you can go to github.com/qpixel/twitchcrapsbot. See if I can bring that up here. There it is. All that work has just been pushed, so feel free to check that out. For those of you who are just joining me, my next stream will be on Thursday of this upcoming week, Thursday, January 31st, starting at 2 p.m. And then I'll have a stream after that on Super Bowl Sunday, February 3rd at 9 a.m. The Sunday stream has been my typical stream time for the last few weeks here, and I'm now adding a new stream on Thursday to try to get a little bit more stream activity going. Princess Rika says, that's like ages away. I know, it is a while. I don't have enough people to bother. Well, I'm sorry, my schedule is still just a little bit busy, so it's tough for me to add in just a ton of streaming time right now. Right now, my goal is to have 2 streams per week. The Sunday stream is one I hope to keep going as long as my schedule permits, and then I hope to do a stream on either Tuesday or Thursday, depending on how my schedule works out. This next week, Thursday happened to be better than Tuesday, so that's when my next stream will be. My plan is to add more, but my schedule is a little bit busy, so we'll just have to play it by ear for the moment and see where we'll go from there. So let me just double check, make sure that everything has been pushed. Looks good. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Have a great day.